Hey guys, this is Tyler here. Um, it's been a while. This is obviously early July, so I'm going to give everyone kind of an update on what's been happening and how things have been for me. So, firstly, my face it looks bad. Um, it's very puffy because of not not alcohol, but I've been outside a lot and I've been eating up a lot of bugs. We'll say that's maybe a different video actually what why I've been outside a lot. But okay, so firstly, I got back here to South Dakota in in March, and it's been not too good, honestly. Like, I think now it's improving, but um continued working my job. um that job unfortunately right now is out of session. I'm not I didn't get laid off or fired. It's just the kind of job it is. Now, other than that, I've been also still in the college. I still doing my cybersecurity degree, the master's program, which is actually pretty cool. And I do a lot of other like studies and stuff outside the university setting. Like, I'm really, really digging deep into this area because when we look at the job market and just everything that's been happening, this is a big area, honestly, to be in. And it's just going to continue being bigger. The big news, though, is that I am going to go and get my CDL license, commercial driver's license, to drive trucks. This is something that many of my channel viewers have recommended to me. I was originally going to do this like 3.5 years ago when I first went to Florida, and finally I'm doing it. Like, I was just, I mean, at a point, job wise, where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. What I've been doing, it's not working. Honestly, it's just not working. Until I have enough in my coffers and I can do stuff on my own and make enough money. I need something that's more stable, where I can always be sure I can get work. There's always truck driving jobs out there. They may not be the best jobs, but there's always jobs out there. The kind of area and just the vibe of the sector. I've been working in education now for the past couple years, and I'm not making a lot of headway. And I think a lot of it is because of like the political whims right now of our society here in the US and worldwide. Education is so liberal, and it's not an area that you can really get far in my opinion. I mean, Jordan Peterson obviously has done many discussions on this area without being a hardcore liberal, honestly. That's 99% of the time. There's some exceptions to that, but for the majority, that's how it is, in my opinion, at least. So I I had unfortunately, I had some acquaintances that kind of, it was the last straw for me this past like January, February time. I had gotten sober. Unfortunately, I relapsed, and now I'm going through the early phase of sobriety again. But these guys just really made me kind of self contemplate what I've been doing from like 29 to 32. And I'm like, I'm just like, being intentional about making changes starts with you and only you. And I know that this is so applicable to me. Um, I am homeless at the moment. That's another thing. I've been homeless now for almost, well, it depends on how you define it. Like, proper homeless for 2.5 months. And that is what I meant with my face. Like, when you're getting eaten by bugs and stuff like this. It's horrible, honestly. It's not a life that you want to live. Fortunately, though, I will be officially in a good accommodation in a couple weeks when I get to my truck driving school. It's in Indiana, so I'll be leaving South Dakota, going down there, and really looking forward to that. I'm able to do a job where, yeah, I know truck driving right now is not the best sector. What sector is though? And it's a sector though where, like I said, there's almost guaranteed work. Um, you may not make a great base rate, a great rate per mile, at least initially, but there's always ways to build, to become your own operator, to do your own business, just driving in general. I mean, if you can drive a big rig, there's so many other vehicles that you can drive. You'll have the skill sets, the confidence of other people to go in and drive any kind of big vehicle. And there's big vehicles anywhere in the world that you may be. And so, especially if you're going to like a developing country, I would think it would even be more of a skill set to have more of an advantage when you look at like kind of how these countries do construction, things like this. There's a lot of potential there. And I initially was going to go and get like an electrician, go through an apprenticeship program and that, but there's a lot of reasons why I chose not to do that. That's a different video. Maybe eventually I will, but that was something that I also was contemplating for a while. And so I finally was like, I want to do the CDL thing first, especially because I'm still interested in living abroad, working abroad, having a lot of investments domestically, internationally. And like I said, my formula hasn't been working, to be perfectly honest. It has not been working. What I've been doing hasn't gotten me very far. So, self responsibility is key. Understanding addiction problems and other patterns of behavior, these things like just all go hand in hand. And I was really making a lot of headway in my mid 20s. And when I look at that period compared to now, one of the big things was I had a lot more momentum and I had a better foundation. I don't have a good foundation, or haven't had a good foundation for a long time. And foundation is obviously multiple pillars. Skill sets is one of them, most definitely. It's like you can't have just one. You need multiple pillars, and this is really what builds a man up. Once I hit 32, as things roll along, my perspective changed on some things, and other things that remain the same. But it's just like we say in AA, it's just taking one day at a time. You have to roll with the punches and just look at the future. You can't be, and for me it's so difficult sometimes. Like, it's so depressed and just so distraught about things. And when you're homeless, it's just at a whole different level that it's so hard to put into words how just bad you can feel internally. And it wasn't until that, with the CDL program I was accepted into, and one other thing that I'll talk about in a different video, but that other thing was the other big financial windfall for me. But like always, thank you everyone for following me, and have a very nice summer. Thank you.